Good evening, everyone. First, I would like to take the time out for a moment of silence for the victims in the motorcycle accident over the weekend. Ms. Zabria Dobbs and David Porter, they were good friends of mine. And also keep our Ward 4 constituent Anthony Billups in our thoughts and prayers as he continues to fight for his life. All right, I want to say thanks to the chief, Mr. Irby, Mr. Casey, interim chief, y'all for coming. Appreciate y'all so much. In 2016, at 28 years old, I called my best friend, Master Sergeant Quincy Harris, who is now in Saudi Arabia on assignment, and told him I wanted to run for office. I gave him my reasoning, and he supported me. Two young individuals who knew the bare minimum about running a campaign, well, a Columbus campaign. We went head first into a new arena. To say the least, we were defeated. But who knew that all the information we obtained, the tireless hours of research put in, that in 2019 the opportunity would represent itself? Okay, we're ready now. It's just me, Quincy, and now my sister Kelly. Let's do it. We can do it. Let's learn from our past mistakes. Let's visit. Let's knock on doors. Let's build the momentum of newness, of freshness, of inclusiveness of all. That's our motto. Committed to the community, your voice for change, restoring trust, being visible were the four main areas of focus. To gain the trust and support of our voters with the promise that we will deliver. Well, that message was heard loud and clear on September 10th of 2019. Now, wow, here I am, a 30-year-old elected official with clearly the support of a few businesses, but mainly the ward, my community. What do I do now? What's next? Well, we have to work. The issues that the constituents voice their concerns about, let's start fixing them. Potholes, paving, train track issues, drainage, residents still unable to flush their toilets when heavy rain falls. These are the issues that need to be resolved. 7th Avenue train tracks were in horrible condition. Practically had to slow down to 1 mile per hour just to get across. It had gotten just that bad. A simple request to then Mayor Smith and COO David Armstrong, that issue was resolved within a few weeks. The biggest reward was this is not only to assist the residents of Ward 4, but the entire city. I smiled for a while because of the impact it had on the users of this particular area. Okay, now this is something that I can get used to. Research, meetings after meetings, all during the most unprecedented time ever, COVID-19. Everything was blamed on COVID. Now it's time that we revamp new strategies, new direction, new visions. Things quickly changed. Mask mandates, lawsuits, criticism, constructive and destructive. Now is the time to be more stern, more assertive, to take ever more and greater care of the citizens of Ward 4, a majority black ward, a ward which is strongly affected by this virus. Do masks work? Do they not work? Confusion amongst confusion. CDC says wear masks. Now mask drives are done. Sanitary drives are done. Closing businesses per CDC request and guidelines. Restrictions after restrictions, yet we made it. We made it to attack, resolve yet another issue. Paving detoured time and time again. Yet this was a high-profile issue. Citizens wanted good roads, which I may add was before election time. New roads that don't destroy their vehicles was the request. $1.1 million, give or take, was spent in Ward 4 on the advancement of the roads. Sidewalk repairs that were desperately needed. I think Ward 4 was done pretty strategically. Here's yet another issue residents wanted done to not only help them, but all residents of Columbus and the many visitors that we attract daily. Yet again, COVID-19 detoured the process. Weather played a major part as well, but the job must go on. Our city engineer had to take over the process due to administration changes, and he did a great job with handling the situation. Smile, nod, explain, inform, encourage the citizens that no, we are not lollygagging around. We are working for the betterment of this ward as well as the safety of the citizens of Columbus. Amongst paving, dealing with COVID, meeting, greeting, learning, researching, understanding the job, people just want to be heard. They want to know that somebody cares enough to listen to their requests and give them some type of surety that they are not forgotten. In the past, I often spoke of Ward 4 as the forgotten ward, but not anymore. All residents need to be heard and will be heard in the proper setting. Issues that have been addressed in passing are still arising. Something needs to be done. Drainage ditches were formed from Moss Street to Waterworks to try and help alleviate some of this flooding, but ditches still need cleaning. Resources are needed to clean and notate all ditches in the city limits, routine maintenance on ditches with more advanced technology to keep and sustain sufficiency. There was a study done by Neil Schaefer and the cost exceeds $2 million, yet it has to be done. It needs to be done. That alone will alleviate 60 to 75% of the problems with flooding. I ask in all seriousness to my colleagues that we answer our constituents' cry about this never-ending issue and attempt to calm the matter. 5 minutes of heavy rain would just about put parts of this city underwater. Retention ponds are needed. Redevelopment of the Tronox-Kerr-McGee site is perfect for some of these issues because only so much of it can be utilized. Redevelopment of Prost Park is a plan that would take well over 10 years to fully complete and exceed $25 million. Redeveloping our parks, pavilions, giving our citizens a safe place to participate in cookouts, sporting events, reunions, or just a time in the park. Yet this all can be done in phases and will be done in phases. $1.2 million with $400,000 more being received in the 2% tourism tax has been allocated to the production of 4 new baseball fields. We can't worry about what others are doing. We have to take care of our own. Wildlife and fishery grants are available, which will allow walking trails of all types in Prost Park. It'll be so cool to have a Riverwalk Park 2 right in the middle of our city, right in Ward 4. We talked about it long enough, and now it's time for visions to be acted on and not to continue to collect dust on the shelves, but to be fulfilled. Prost Park, when completed in all phases, will be a shining beacon of Northside. The Prost Park it was when I was a child, when you were a child. It's our park, and we must preserve and restore at all costs. Tourism was promoted in the American Rescue Plan Act, but the $5.7 million we were allotted, $3 million went to watershed issues. $1.3 million was earmarked for premium pay, of which I now see the Board of Supervisors got in alignment and awarded their employees this one-time money. $680,000 was awarded to our employees, our overworked and underpaid employees. $3,000 checks to all employees who helped us attempt to make Columbus a better, cleaner, and safer place during this pandemic. It was a fight, but it was done. Tireless hours of research put into this. Special thanks to our city attorney, Jeff Turnage, and his new hire, our new hire, Mr. James Jim Brigham, our new CFO. A CFO that I take pride in saying we hired. Working on the hiring committee search team was an amazing experience for the city of Columbus. 2 new additions to City Hall with extensive knowledge in their respective fields. A COO, Jamie Garrett, who interviewed about a mentoring program she had in her hometown of Hazelhurst, and she brought it to light right here in the friendly city. $50,000 was allocated to the Reclaiming Our Youth, a very productive and educational program for the people whom were affected by COVID the most. And to these wonderful additions, I salute you. You both have done absolutely amazing things since you have been here. Keep up the great work. Mr. Brigham has not only solved major portions of our financial crisis by finding where money was placed in ways it could have been mishandled. Our COO has been working with our new registrar to also assist in certain areas we were lacking in from previous audit reports. Started to put in place a fixed asset program, a program that we know in all departments what we have, accountability on city-owned equipment. We understand we have to be great stewards of taxpayers' dollars. And with our CFO, who is a CPA as well as a certified forensic auditor, we have who and what we need in City Hall to make sure whatever happened doesn't happen again. As Councilwoman Stewart states, you told us you can walk on water, and we believe you. Speaking of water, Dr. Angela Verdell petitioned the council on behalf of the Columbus Light and Water Department for some of the ARPA benefits. Columbus Light and Water will receive $1 million portion of this money to replace aging wastewater infrastructure. The biggest priority is modernizing the 22nd Street lift station, which supplies about 2/3 of the city's wastewater. It would severely impact citizens of Wards 1, 3, 4, and 6. Martin Luther King Jr. Drive will be getting lift station work performed, also directly affecting Ward 4. This project is estimated to exceed $2 million. Due to ARPA, Columbus Light and Water will be eligible to receive matching funds from the Mississippi Department of Environmental Quality. This is a job in the right direction of progressing Columbus forward. These repairs and enhancements will last for generations to come. Also proud that we appointed Ms. Stephanie Gale to the Columbus Light and Water Department. Just like me, she was unsuccessful her first time, but it's always better when you have to dust yourself off and try again. A great asset to this team to assist her fellow board members with more information that she would have firsthand from her late husband, Todd Gale. Serving on the airport board, I would say Mr. Dan Dunston is doing a great job running and rehabilitating the Columbus-Lowndes County Airport. I encourage you, if you have any friends of yourselves that own planes, to check us out. We have hangars available. Mr. Zach Foster of Neil Schaefer is doing a remarkable job on applying and receiving multiple grants for the airport. Amazing job to you guys. Serving on the insurance board, I've learned that Employees of Columbus has one of the best insurance programs in the state of Mississippi, with a surplus of well over $1.5 million, which could be used strictly for employee benefits. In the school board, I am very proud of the appointment of Dr. Cynthia Brown, the late Ward 4 Councilman Fred Stewart's daughter. A beautiful asset to that board. Great job on the interim superintendent hire of Mr. Dennis Dupree, my 6th grade principal. 6th grade was at Hunt Intermediate School then, which lies in Ward 4. The destruction of Hunt School by the EF3 tornado has allowed this community to receive over $20 million of federal and state dollars to rebuild Hunt to once what it was. I know he will be a great asset to the redevelopment as well as this school district. Initiative 65A was an initiative I strongly supported. The uses of medical marijuana will be mind-blowing in revenue for the city of Columbus. So many restrictions and guidelines that have to be followed, so it is safe to say we will be in great hands. The Easter Festival, Thanksgiving Appreciation Luncheon, school supply drives will always be near and dear to me. Giving back and showing the love of our Lord and Savior is the ultimate goal, and I will continue this forever. Public Works has received $500,000 in resources to provide a better service to the citizens of Columbus. Department heads must know that they will be protected at all costs. Simple, do your job that you are hired to do. Training is budgeted for all departments. If you need help, ask. Reach out to your council, your COO. Know that we got you. We hired you guys to perform. We hired you guys to perform and give you the tools you need to perform if you are unable to. Go and see your HR director, Ms. Pat Mitchell, if you have concerns that needs to be taken care of, or more severe note. You guys can talk to us whenever, wherever, and however you want. We appreciate you. We must remain on tack and not let personal issues detour us away from the main objective, which is being public servants for all of Ward 4, all of the citizens of Columbus, to continue leading with integrity, to be held accountable for all actions in their appropriate settings, to be faithful in our dealings and support each other wherever we are weak. Building support with our local nonprofits to promote awareness of all programs available to the citizens of Columbus, not talking a big game, but actually doing the work. We should be searching for ways to increase revenue in the city, not focused on personal issues, focusing on the betterment of Columbus, not what allegedly happened. Change the image, the dynamic, promote our downtown, which also lies in parts of Ward 4. Putting together a list of all vacant industrial and commercial areas and promoting them to outside sources to bring more jobs with livable wages into Columbus. Increasing taxes happens over time, true enough, but Columbus is the heart the center of the Golden Triangle, and it should be reflected in this vision. We should promote Mississippi University for Women, a pivotal university also in Ward 4. We all can be guilty of saying what we would have or could have done until it's actually time to do it. Better training opportunities for our officers and firemen. They want to excel in the area, and we should help them advance as much as possible. Our employees feed off our leadership abilities. Better pay for our employees. Officers need radios. We should be able to provide them with what they need. Promote the need for a grant writer here in the city. So many opportunities await us, but we haven't even begun to tap into that portal. Meeting with Trey Baker, Senior Advisor for Public Engagement, and Zach McRae, Special Policy Advisor for the Vice President of the United States, firsthand information and knowledge was received about the many opportunities available to HUD recipients. Ways to create financial independency with purchasing programs of homes. The City of Columbus Stormwater Rehabilitation Program and the amount of $55,000 was moved forward out of committee from Senator Wicker's office. Not only did Senator Cindy Hyde-Smith appreciate my taste in suit selection, she shared stories with us on successful people she knew and how she helped grow downtown areas. Support local, support your mom and pops, and support downtown. The City of Columbus Dilapidated Housing Initiative has moved forward as well in the amount of $3 million. We may fuss, we may fight at home, but we represented the City of Columbus well in Washington. $3 million in a blight program would be transformational for the City of Columbus. Talk about redevelopment. Within the next 3 years, I plan to focus on working with Mr. George Irby on a rehabilitation program. Dilapidated houses are taking over Columbus. How can we increase revenue if we have so many empty, unsafe structures plaguing not only Ward 4, but the entire city? Creating so many more unnecessary issues that clouds over communities. Let's knock them down and focus on rebuilding Columbus, a progressive Columbus, a Columbus that can thrive and blossom to be what it once was, to bring back class, morale, and dignity, to uphold our oath with honor, to learn from past mistakes and continue to help all citizens of the friendly city. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equally, and we will live as such. Under my leadership of Ward 4, I must say there has been a tremendous amount of progression. Minus a few hiccups, you are in great hands. I will continue to strive to be the councilman for all, addressing each and every one of your issues in the proper chain of command and setting. I still believe that without unity, there is no community. Let's work and strive to continue showing the city that Ward 4 is the shining light of this city. We need more neighborhood parks, community centers, educational centers. We need to progress, and we will. No one said it would be easy, and it's definitely a full-time job. Our ward will continue to grow. It will continue to be a change you can see. My judgment will remain non-biased and based off facts. Being your councilman may be the best career move I have ever made. I will continue representing you guys well. Always remember, no one is greater than our Creator. God bless you all. Bless Columbus, bless the troops, and bless the United States of America. Thank you. Admit that. All right, we got questions. If y'all want to, got some questions. I forgot my little index cards. So if anybody got some questions, all right, emotional. If anybody got some questions, I'm willing to answer whatever questions y'all have. Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? No questions?
So you talked about some of the ARPA money and the funding that you really advocated for. One, for employees to get their bonuses, which I completely agree with. But in regard to Ward 4, how do you see that ARPA funding actually unfolding? Do you see those projects beginning being focused on and work being done there. I know the flooding problem is a really significant issue in parts of our ward.
Right. Now, I know we gave Wagner Engineering the $3 million for watershed, different issues like that. We're still, doing studies and getting information back from them. But I do know that Angela Verdell, with the $1 million that she has, there's 3 projects that is included. And I made mention of 2 of them. That's the 22nd Street behind, what's that office? The Housing Authority office. If it has issues with that right now, I know ARPA money has been used for that. If that lift station goes out, the city of Columbus will have no water. So those are one of the priorities that has been placed at the top with the ARPA money that has been given to Columbus Light and Water, as well as Martin Luther King, where Morningside used to be. My directions, yeah. There's lift stations over there that needs works to be done. When it rains on north side, like you can literally see the water. It's coming down, it's coming down out of Katy Hills. It's coming down out of the Brickyard. It floods like all red clay water, dirt be behind Icy Cousin, but the water actually comes through the sewer and it comes out, it's shooting out of the sewer. So those are issues that we gave them the $1 million for to work on those issues that would alleviate that. But I definitely know, I think I missed the page. No, when I talked about cleaning up the ditches, that was Neil Schaefer gave us I think it was like $275,000 study to perform the work to see how much it will be, or it was like over $2 million worth of work. Like I said, that alone will alleviate a majority of the problems, of the issues. So it's like in a limbo if we're gonna do the $3 million that we already gave Wagner, or do we want to take that $3 million and clean the ditches, what we know will alleviate a lot of the problems.
Right, and so from the council's perspective, I'm just asking because I know I hear from residents as well too that they would like to know when things are going to start happening to eliminate, some of the issues that they deal with. I don't live in an area that gets flooded, so it's not something that I have to worry about all the time. I have people calling me saying, "City hasn't done anything for us yet." So.
Yeah. Well, I'm not an engineer, so we gave Wagner the money. We're still,
Yeah, no, I get that. I'm just wondering if you guys know, any timeline that you could propose to some of your constituents in Ward 4 that really are impacted by that. Because I really think that would be meaningful for them, knowing that it's at the top of the council's list and it's something that's going to be happening within 3 months, 6 months, what have you.
Well, I can definitely get with Dr. Verdell and see when her 3 projects will begin, because I know for a fact that out of the 3, 2 of them would definitely affect Southside Ward 4 as well as Northside Ward 4. And I'm pretty sure she will be hopefully starting on that sometime soon. But the remainder, I will definitely find out. I got you.
Yes, yeah, to that question, this is a question to her question. DEQ has to issue this money, before you all can start doing anything. And I don't think all those applications, and they have reviewed them yet to let them have the money. So actually, the city hadn't received anything from DEQ, what Wagner did, so they can't start. But I think once they get the money, I think they're all ready to go and do it. So that's kind of what's happening with that.
Thank you, Mr. Irby, yeah. Sorry.
No, I was thinking, putting those 2 together, that maybe if you could work backwards, a list of what the steps are to get to actual shovels in the ground.
Right.
You could request that.
Yeah, I can definitely, like I said, I'll get with Dr. Verdell on that. But as far as Wagner,
I think it's what he said that I think Wagner is putting together those applications to go to DEQ, right? To determine, they got the money, but then the state gave
And that came from Wagner? You said September? I mean, we talk about Wagner, don't get me wrong. I mean, I wasn't a huge fan of them, so I don't really understand their work and how they're working. So that's why I say everything is in limbo. I didn't vote for them, so I just put that out there. But yeah.
Well, I mean, I know it's a complicated process, I get that.
Right.
It's very multi-tiered and, I'm not an engineer either, so I understand that. But I do think at some level, having a timeline that is even approximate in regard to when money's going to be allocated and then what's kind of at the top of the list as well too.
Like I said, I definitely find out, but I know that those 3 projects that Dr. Verdell has would be that 22nd Street South would be that first thing to be done whenever everything is, because like I say, if that goes out, there's no water in the city of Columbus, like none. Any more questions, concerns?
I think this is a great idea. What made you decide to do this?
What made me decide to do this? There has been a lot of life-altering situations that has occurred in my life. And I had to really just sit back and understand and focus what was it that I really wanted and what I really wanted to do and align myself up with what needs to be done. When I first started this, I was knocking. I was everywhere, just being very visible. And like I say, COVID came in, people blame stuff on COVID. And I got kind of relaxed. I'm not gonna say I was not performing the job, but I just got kind of settled with where things, were. And there was a lot of bickering and back and forth amongst all of us, and somebody had to be the person that say, hey, enough is enough. It's time that we start moving, this city in the direction that it needs to be moving in. It's time out to constantly turn around and look and see what we may have believed happened or who could have done something, and pointing the blame at people. And, somebody had to say, well, that's not what we're here for, and that somebody is me. That's when I first ran, I told you I want to be the eyes and ears that my ancestors prayed for, to let people see that there's positive in everything that you do, regardless of what happens in your life. And I feel like this would be the first step to just letting my constituents know, my city know that I'm still here and I'm going to do the job. That's why. Anybody else? If no one else, I want to say I appreciate you guys for coming. This was amazing. I will be doing this once a month. It will not be here at City Hall every single time. I mean, if anybody wants to have a end of the month Monday at your home or your residence, somewhere in your neighborhood, Boys and Girls Club, whatever, anywhere in Ward 4, I'm available to come and meet, sit, and talk. Questions, answers, whatever with you guys.
So here, one quick thing, I don't want to put the interim chief on the spot. Can I put you on the spot for a minute? Can you give us a little bit of an update about your leadership and how things are going down at CPD right now?
Can you come to the front? Can you come up to the front so we can hear? Please.
Say he's doing a great job. He stepped in with these guys, and I've been talking to a lot of them already, and they enjoy it. You ain't got to be long.
I'm not. I'm very encouraged, of course, also from being here the last 3 years since I've come back to the police department. I know that we have a good group of officers, but I know we need some good direction that we can build our force into what I think should be a professional and a proficient force. We think our citizens want to know that our officers are acting professionally, doing their jobs, best they can, and that we're being proficient in our efforts and in our work and in our responsibilities. We know, our officers know what their responsibilities are to protect and serve. You know, I do want to say to councilmen and those that are here, our officers do need the support of the city council and the mayor. They do need the support with the resources to do their job. You know, they do need the support with the salaries, because our law enforcement have become very competitive. You know, there's a lot of competition amongst everyone for good officers. You know, so it's becoming very competitive to keep officers and to even recruit officers. So I think we have to do all that we can to do that. And then once we get them in, then of course it's our responsibility to do what we should do and what we need to do with our officers so that we can retain them, so that we can keep them. But I'm very positive, very encouraged with our officers. They're working hard. They're putting in a lot of hours, you know, with the manpower shortage. But they're not complaining. They're doing their job, and they continue to try to do what they've been called to do, what they've taken an oath to do, and that's to protect and to serve our city.
What can we do to help the community? What
So-
can we do to help your officers as a community?
With citizens that I think that they can do to help, is to in a lot of cases be the eyes and ears within the community. I know the community want police to be everywhere, all over the place, and that's impossible. So a lot of it when it comes to protecting our different neighborhoods, when it comes to solving crimes, a lot of that comes down to citizens. Citizens being willing, to share information, to give information, willing to assist our officers in doing their job. And I think when that happens, when we start working together as a team, I think a lot of the mentality in law enforcement across the whole nation has almost become us against them, the police against the community, and it shouldn't be that way. It should be the community and the police department working together as a team. Yeah. Thank you.
The echo in this room, and you had a meeting here, I put down that the panels that's supposed to take care of this should be here September 16th. And things can be used more often than what it has.
Maybe we should try the next meeting here with
I got you. Well, if there's nothing else, I want to say I appreciate you guys for coming. Thank Miss Julie and Dr. Shoemate. Y'all have always been a great supporter of mine. I don't know where we are now, but I just want to say I appreciate you guys for always coming whenever I'm having something. That shows a lot, and I appreciate you wholeheartedly. I thank y'all.